Since we find out all these people were recruited to do some pretty serious hacking, would this guy really be in a library doing this? The idea that he wouldn't have a setup at his house with 17 different VPNs pinging off each other is ludicrous. If they watched hackers, they'd save time. There's a formula to it. A very simple formula!
What about my account?
Delivering.
And this guy doesn't have any headphones or earbud, so he's having this conversation with Maggie Q in a public place through computer speakers?
You have a sexy voice. Is there anything else I can do for you? To you?
Hacker charm. The cinematographer swore they had enough computer footage at the beginning of the movie, but the director insisted, "I'm starving, and the only thing that can satisfy this appetite is more keyboard." This will be another of these computer movies showing that by hitting a couple keys and enter, you can control whatever the you want. Not saying this can't be done, but I am saying they never show us enough to make me believe it can be done.
With a holiday weekend, we're short-staffed as it is.
I guess the filmmakers wanted this movie to tie into a holiday to fit with the tradition of the first two, but trust me, this movie has jack to do with the 4th of July. Seriously, there's no decorations, fireworks, bros drinking patriotic Bud Lights, or anything.
You told this jerk-off I was dead?
And thus begins the barrage of PG-13 insults, because this franchise didn't have the gusto to continue the trend of the ultra-successful previous R-rated movies. And I feel like I'm watching a neutered dog trying to lick his phantom balls. Why did it take so long to get Matt's explosive all set up? When we saw the other hackers on Maggie Q's manifest, they were dropping like flies within short order. Did they want to take it easy on him? Are they big Jeepers Creepers fans? Damn, guys, how long do you give a dude to hit the delete button? You just armed the like 20 seconds ago, and you have no clue that McClane is showing up at the front door.
The limited edition.
Numbskull that doesn't know anything about priceless artifact immediately breaks said artifact within seconds of touching it cliché. This trained assassin with this badass sniper rifle misses a wide open shot at Matt through a clear-ass window. Okay, look, I'll suspend disbelief for an action movie and pretend John can blow this thing by shooting at it, but it blows this motherfucker out the window, and that I cannot abide. If John McClane were as smart as Indiana Jones, he'd be hiding inside that. This is a pretty big apartment complex, but no one hears all this commotion? This unit has been a war zone for the last several minutes. Damn, those load-bearing walls in Camden are no joke. The building codes in New Jersey must be insane. If this asshole is this athletic, why wasn't he on the strike team instead of poorly sniping from the garage?
Hey, killing people. Not for a long time.
No kidding. The last time John McClane was offing Jeremy Irons, Justin Long was probably still in high school. So remind me why we're dragging this dude back into a franchise that relied on youthful exuberance again? More hot typing action. You know, just because you with streetlights doesn't mean you just roll through those intersections with impunity. I'm sure these cab drivers are versed in the DC traffic well enough to be able to look both ways, at least out of the side of their eyes, before pulling in front of a careening huge-ass garbage truck. I mean, seriously, this motherfucker in New York just turned left into a bus that was already in an intersection. I understand this malfeasance being effective on highways and when people are going fast, but in high traffic areas where everyone's moving at a snail's pace, how can they cause this much havoc? Helicopter flies over DC airspace with obvious gunning being obvious on 4th of July weekend and no one notices? This might be the most unbelievable scene in the movie, and this is a movie where a character takes out a helicopter with a cop car. When have you ever seen anyone get out of their cars around a traffic jam, especially on moss like this? In reality, at least 85% of these people would still be in their vehicles honking into the void like any other red-blooded American.
Get your bag, hackboy.
Hackboy.
We're under attack.
This is just now occurring to him? They got hacked like hours ago, and he was well aware of that.
That's the anthrax alarm.
The anthrax alarm? Sweet. I hope they start blasting cuts from Sound of White Noise or We've Come For You All, those Scotty and Palm mute slap. You know, if you got multiple TVs in here and you want to keep up with the news, shouldn't you diversify your coverage? Movie steals the takeover of network television for a revolutionary statement video from V for Vendetta. I'm half expecting a cutaway to a British kid asking his dad, "What's wrong with the deli?"
That was creepy. I tried to find more Nixon.
Because that would have made it creepier or less creepy. Was any of this dialogue thought out?
It's a fire sale.
Hey, we don't know that yet.
Yeah, it's a myth anyway. It can't be done.
Thanks, lady. This is literally her only line in this movie, and it is to immediately dismiss a hacker's concept that's currently happening in front of her eyes.
Agent Johnson?
That's right.
Yeah, that's so weird that the dude's last name is one of the most common surnames in the United States, because we're looking for any chance to squeeze in a quick dick joke.
Isolate the frequency. Get us a location on the vehicles
And while you're at it, do this zoom and enhance, and then when you find something, tell me I'd better come take a look at this.
I swear to you, I had no idea I was going to be an accessory to Armageddon.
Nonsense! You'd have to be an oil driller that was ridiculously recruited to fly to space and land on an asteroid for that to be the case. Also, Matt is making a full confession in front of the FBI interrogator, despite being supremely paranoid of all government systems.
I swear to you, I know her. I would know her voice anywhere.
I'm not disqualifying the sexiness of Maggie Q's voice, but I am disqualifying there's enough distinction in her voice to make a starving, anxiety-filled, and sleep-deprived Justin Long able to pull it up in his memory that quickly.
Cut the bullshit, honey. Just put your boss on.
That's racist.
Officer McClane.
I really do love Die Hard movies, but why do all of them have to have multiple scenes of John talking directly to the bad guy in order to antagonize him before the goes down?
Well, that really is tempting, especially that last part. But I think I'm gonna have to pass, Chekhov.
Judging from the copious amount of direct-to-DVD content I've seen, this is something Bruce Willis hasn't said to a film project in at least 10 years.
John, you're a Timex watch in a digital age.
This description is spot on. However, how would Gabriel know how much of a Luddite McClane is just from looking at his financials?
We need backup! I repeat, we need backup!
This is base. We're sending backup.
Sure, Mai is overriding the dispatch system, but these policemen do have eyes, right? Could they not just go back John up based on what they're looking at? Also, luckily for John and Matt, Gabriel clearly sent his thugs to the finest stormtrooper school for aiming at things. Little known fact, John McClane had the highest helicopter evasion test score in the history of the NYPD.
Open the other side. What? Move!
Trey didn't give two shits when they were killing off hackers left and right earlier in the movie, but ask him to redirect traffic and all of a sudden he's not feeling too good about the situation? Weird that Bruce Willis signed on to do a sequel to Die Hard, but ended up making Daylight 2 Day Harder. Okay, I know the master lights are turned off, but why wouldn't that cause cars to actually slow down? Do you floor it when it gets pitch black outside? If so, you're a goddamn psychopath. Also, with the number of cars purportedly in this tunnel right now, the headlights alone should have this lit up like a Christmas tree anyway. Man, that is a really fun moment. It's stupid as all and I would never remove a sin for it, but this movie is not boring. Also, listen, I'm all for big action and interesting sequences, but Die Hard was supposed to be about the human aspects of this guy. Starting in this movie, they made him a superhero like David Dunn, and I refuse to believe there are any real stakes to this character anymore.
She just killed a helicopter with a car.
I was out of bullets.
Such an awesome line, but can't remove it. Sin. Whew, that was close. There's a helicopter in ruins on a busy downtown street, yet there are no other law enforcement officers anywhere near the area. I don't care that there are technical glitches in the infrastructure. There's a helicopter in ruins on a busy downtown street.
What about Farrell and McClane?
C'est l'histoire ancienne.
And he knows that how? He would have seen McClane jump out of the car before launching it, and he has no reason to believe that Farrell was in it. Oh yeah, do that slower. Slower. Discount Jared Harris. Typing in numbers, doors open, excitement? Hot antagonists make out before the final stage of the plan is enacted because they're so horny for crime cliché. Hey, how's traffic moving so easily now? Especially this close to the major government buildings. Even if these assholes put the lights back at normal, there are massive pileups all over the city.
Just put it in your pocket. Sure? Yes. Or smash it. You have to smash it.
But how would putting it in his pocket help? A phone can still be traced even if it's not in use. And a super hacker like Farrell should know that.
We never made it to DHS. Now they came after the kid again.
How does Bowman not know this? He lost officers in that skirmish, and a key witness got separated from the protection. That didn't seem like an important thing to get back to him on? This hacker video was directed by Roland Emmerich, who, despite disagreeing with this hacker cell's ideals, simply cannot pass up an opportunity to demolish famous buildings.
The phones are fine. It's the network that's dead. I've just got to reprogram it and link it into the old SATCOMs.
And I have my trusty hacker utility belt right here. Where did I put that shark repellent? You never know when you'll be dangling from a helicopter over an ocean in need of that.
You all right? Would it hit you a little bit?
I'm all for establishing camaraderie, but the movie's already shown that these two generally get along and begrudgingly respect each other. So this is essentially a long-winded way of saying movie has time for this.
Hold while we contact emergency services.
If all the networks are down and even possibly landlines, how would they connect emergency services? And how is this communication even happening? If this security guy was going to be so emphatic about denying my entry, why'd he open the super secure gate to the compound? You know, they stole this car several hours ago, and it's been shown to have a remote system that can both start and stop the engine, despite the network shutdown. So why hasn't that happened? Hell, the broken window alone should have set off red flags for the OnStar system.
This whole floor is restricted access.
Dude, this movie has a higher innocent body count than the end of Man of Steel. I have a friend who told me that after seeing this movie, he just had to have one of these rolled-up keyboards, and he said it was useless. He also said Sonic the Hedgehog was a good movie, so he's not always trustworthy. But I'm going to choose to believe him on this one. And therefore, everything Mai does from here on out is bull.
We're in.
This movie says some derivative of I'm in or we're in when hacking into a system so many goddamn times that I'm going to award it with an extra 30 sins. You're in. All right, movie. In sin. Man, it is shockingly easy to break into the Eastern power grid and shut everything down. I don't care how talented of a hacker Mai is. This only took a very small amount of time, and now she's being prompted by the computer to proceed like she's downloading the most recent version of iTunes. Len Wiseman shoots this fight scene like he's making an audition tape for the Iron Man gig the following year.
I'm a righty. I need my other hand, I really do.
Didn't you hear me masturbating with it profusely the other night while I was listening to your voice? There's an insanely clear path in these offices for this car to drive through, as if this building was set up for this exact kind of situation. And keep in mind, he came from the parking garage. Several minutes of this mid-shaft fight that makes zero sense. Why did John drive Mai all the way to the elevator conduit? What was his plan to get out of it? Do we really need this obvious callback to the first movie? Unless he's going to decorate a villain sweatshirt with a holiday-appropriate burn. That guy was taken out by Farrell? Jesus, this movie. It's fun for a while, but when it starts sledding down the hill of disappointment, this kind of absurdity makes Cool Runnings look like a movie about golf.
Western and Central hubs are ours. We're just waiting on Mai's end.
So what the f*** has been going on at Western and Central's hubs? Where are the two other Mai's that could have handled dismantling those? Because outside of her, Friday the 13th here, and that asshole who hates guns, who the f*** else is useful in this operation?
Listen, jackass. Your fire sale's over.
Premature tontabration. I know a lot of shit blows up here, but isn't the gas supply still going? Shouldn't there be multiple and sustained explosions? Speaking of which, one night my college girlfriend was ignoring me while watching porn, and I've never seen... I guess it's possible the power would go out in stages like this, but I'm calling bullshit that it would start as soon as McClane was looking in that direction.
Supposed to make that sound?
Yeah.
If I've learned anything from movies, it's that pretty much anyone can jump into a helicopter and fly that regardless of experience.
I'm gonna find Warlock's house. It's probably gonna be the one where the light's still on.
Great, that's exactly what I need. I can now fly from rural West Virginia to Baltimore without any guidance. Then, when I'm in Baltimore, I'll be able to scan the entire city and see one townhouse with a few lights still on. Sounds foolproof.
Now, there's something you need to know about Warlock. He hates cops.
Not enough to save us from the abomination that he's planning to make in 2010 with a fella named Bruce Willis and his wacky pal Tracy Morgan.
I'm Matt Farrell. This is, Billy. We're friends from Space Camp.
Why doesn't he just say, and this is John? Hiding that he's a cop makes sense, but hiding his first name does not.
I can't see too good. Is that a young bearded Han Solo?
Motherfucker walks up in here mispronouncing Han's name like he's Lando f***ing Calrissian.
Where'd there be chilling towers there? That's what I thought. Oh. What's a chilling tower?
Good thing John is as anti-tech as Will Smith in iRobot, so that we can continue some sophomoric exposition about highfalutin technobabble.
I got a red flag over here. Someone's hacking into Woodlawn.
But Warlock had already done that before they showed up, so why is Trey just catching this now?
Frederick Kaludis. Let's have a look at him.
Fat bastard.
Does Freddy seriously not have enough security at his command center that the evil assholes can't track his server this easily? I know these guys are good and all, but Warlock is supposed to be equally good, until the plot demands he isn't.
Lucy, hang up the phone.
Please, John. I'm trying to have a conversation.
I love Timothy Oliphant, but he John Travolta so hard here that I'm kind of expecting this scene to have been written by Quentin Tarantino.
His name is John McClane. He's a New York City cop.
We'll find him.
But couldn't Lucy just give him McClane's number? That's the normal thing that would happen in this situation, right? Jesus, the amount of cars and shit that McClane has stolen within a 24-hour time frame has got to add up to over 60 years worth of prison.
I wouldn't bet on you either, so I figured I'd lend a hand.
Also, your daughter is super hot, so really curious if I have a chance with making something happen there.
This bitch is a handful.
You know what else is a handful? The amount of times strong women are called bitches in this movie. And it's not like it was a product of its time or anything. This was 2007. Freedom Riders came out that same year, and I don't remember any bitches in that.
Trey, Gabriel wants to see you.
Is it that time already?
Trey makes it so obvious that everyone else in the truck is about to get murdered that I'm shocked the other four aren't bum-rushing no-name henchmen immediately. And that would have made this scene a lot more interesting and a lot less... Why are all these buildings so easy to break into? The digital security that Gabriel's trying to upend. Get some guards on the vulnerable physical entries.
And what's Woodlawn?
It's a fail-safe. We built after 9/11 to back up all financial information.
But they wouldn't make the head of cybercrimes aware of this? I mean, he would be the most obvious person to put in charge of it, right? Also, this is treated like some kind of big reveal, and I have to ask, why? Maybe it's the fault of the script, but we always knew Gabriel was up to something, probably involving financials, so this isn't a big surprise. And making it some sort of Area 51 type secret base adds nothing to the proceedings. I'm starting to realize the fact that this movie works at all is a miracle.
You two geniuses. Stay out of my way.
But they just gave you vital information about the Woodlawn site, and what it does, and all the stuff and the things. So why would you shun these sources of secret knowledge? Why, Brother of Hobbs? Why?
Don't move!
These buttholes have been super trigger happy all movie, but the one time the henchman has them dead to rights, he pulls a stick-em-up routine instead of plugging John and Matt.
Don't move now. I'll send a doctor.
Wait, McClane didn't kill this guy? He's already mowed down many people he probably didn't have to. So this sudden grasp at sympathy the movie is trying to get us to with McClane is total bullshit. I don't care that he kills people. He's been killing people since 1988. We've all learned to love him regardless.
I am doing the country a favor.
Dude, you just said that you weren't the bad guy, but obviously only bad guys exposit their plans before the final act, so you see my problem here, right?
Lucy McClane.
I thought your name was Gennaro. Lucy Gennaro?
Not today.
Lucy changes her last name as frequently as Ramona Flowers changes her hair color.
Stay still, Spider Boy!
Given the climate in here and the lame quips, I can't help but think of this scene as way too close a relative of Mr. Freeze's entrance in Batman and Robin. Oh good, the FBI is on its way. They've been so helpful this entire movie.
Vixen.
Why didn't they ask Farrell to do this when they were at Woodlawn instead of having Trey waste his time with it? The hell is up with all this destruction? Butch just said he was on a major highway, so why is he hitting all these parked cars on the side of the road? And why are there parked cars on the side of a major highway?
You are authorized to engage and destroy.
Copy that.
No way, man. I know military folk aren't supposed to question orders, but Gabriel's identified as air traffic control, not a senior officer. And there's no way this dude would let a storm loose on a major metropolitan area with dozens, if not hundreds, of commuters on the road right now. This somehow ends up being the most ridiculous shot of this sequence, and this is taking into consideration the upcoming shot of John McClane jumping onto a fighter jet. Instead of screaming into the void about this pilot being an asshole, why can't McClane use the same trick he did to call Bowman just a few seconds ago and tell him to call off the strike? Wait, after all that, the van is still within immediate sight distance? Holy it's not like he just jumped out of the bushes or anything. This was looking right at McClane before he got shot to hell. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is so badass in this movie, it's unfortunate she's not in it more, and that when she is, the majority of the time, she's being used as a punching bag.
I'm gonna kill him and your daughter, and I would love for you to see that.
Yes, no need to off the guy who poses an actual threat to this operation. We want to make him suffer. Matthew Farrell is a crack shot because movie. Aw, I guess he really does love his daughter. I always thought that was just a rumor.
Is he okay?
I died of shock on the way to the hospital.
Or maybe he'll need extensive therapy to cope with the fact that he just brutally murdered somebody. But sure, let's crack some jokes at his expense.
Hospital.
Thank God John told this paramedic to take him to the hospital. Otherwise, they'd end up at Joe's Crab Shack or something, while he bleeds out from multiple gunshot wounds.
Hard.
Erection?
But thanks for noticing.
Hey, you know what else we poke fun at? Music videos. Them shits have sins too, trust me. And we're more than willing to point the counter at the Tay-Tays, the Biebers, the Billies, and many more. Check out Music Video Sins today.
You caused $300 damage to my car, you son of a bitch.
You told this jerk off I was dead? You actually said that?
It's Gideon. I just can't.
I gave it a cold. I gave it a virus.
You are done. No more table.
Collect the hard drive, start sweeping them.
Don't let him give you about your ponytail either.
What you doing with all this gun, man? I want you to get back. You changed, man.
Are we ready? Transportation hubs are prepped and set.
Don't worry, though. We're gonna have plenty of time to get to know each other when I come visit you in prison.
See, I've got my whole defense planned out. I'm gonna blame the movies.
This city property. No trespassing.
We gotta go see the world like it's our only hope.
Rebellions are built on hope.
I told them this could happen if they didn't prepare. Did I get a thank you? No, I got crucified.
God, why don't you stop your whining and get on with it? I've heard this before.
5, 9er, 2.
And did I catch a niner in there? Were you calling from a walkie-talkie?